Hey everybody, I'm just chilling for a second here and I was reading something which brought me right to this picture. There's no coincidences ever. So, I'm reading The Anunnaki of Nibiru uh, by Gerald Clark. Okay, and I open this page. Hold on, I'm trying to go back to the page before. Just give me a second. We'll start with um, as a reminder, the Anunnaki designed primitive humans as slaves, with the premeditated intent to control, manage them for somewhat complicated mining and building tasks, stating in the Athrasis that intelligence was therefore provided as part of their design. Excuse me. This creates a dilemma, for the Creator as one is not quite quite making a robot with limited command set, but rather an entity with intelligence that has ability to acquire a sense of self or a center, which will ultimately lead to independence and revolt. This dilemma ultimately faced both the Anunnaki masters and the Igigi. Most likely, a genetic lot of slave workers from Nibiru brought along to work as miners, city builders, and whatever the Anunnaki in charge needed general labor for. The Igigi over time were facing the same issues on Earth that we are today. They were evolving from a primitive consciousness that was most likely instilled. Hold on, I just want to get the book positioned a little bit. That was most likely instilled in them at their inception intentionally at a lower level than the creators, which I don't think that's true. I think it's a little higher than them, but that's just my take on it. Um, Effectively relegating the entity as primitive worker, better called slave. The gotcha in this equation as the evolution does not stop, and eventually over time, especially if given intelligence to handle more complex tasks. The primitive worker evolves enough so that self-identity arises much like we read about in the biblical account of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Self-consciousness into the antithetical to slavery. Enlil knew this. Well, hello, Enlil. Thus he realized that Enki had plans all along to create a workforce that would eventually become, like they are, a significant threat to power. Additionally, providing the workforce the ability to breed ensured rapid population growth to meet the labor requirements. Thus, the Igigi slaves found their self-consciousness center over time on Earth and revolted against their slave taskmasters, the Anunnaki elite, creating the need for replacement slave workforce. Inki's primitive workers, anatomically modern humans, perhaps the difference was speeding up in time experienced by the ancient astronaut Igigi who were not used to the Earth's shorter solar cycles, accelerated them finding their identity, which was what caused the revolt. Note that it took a long time for this to happen. Many showers, according to the Igigi, with a shower equal to 3,600 years, which were in this cycle. Lord Inki certainly knew this, as his intent all along was to simply jumpstart the current evolutionary process that was already occurring on Earth. He recognized that the seeds of life on planet Earth came from Nibiru in the first place. And then you can see their cosmology in the Enuma Elish involving Tiamat Earth and Kingu Moon, with which it collided. And I feel like that's what this gash is where Kingu collided with Earth, and it's buried under the water. And that's probably why we have the Grand Canyon as well. Because clearly something huge happened to make the Grand. It wasn't just because water was running. I'm rolling my eyes. Yeah, I just see how much they try to dumb everybody down. Okay, so and that the Neanderthal man already existed on Earth, which Enki described finding in Africa, reporting it to the Anunnaki Council. Recall that Enki was assigned the African gold mining operation when he lost the dice roll with his brother Enlil over who had the right to stay in Mesopotamia. Enki subsequently took up roots in the Abzu, or Africa, to oversee the gold mining operations there. So the genetic intervention with the local Neanderthal species was justified and approved by the Anunnaki Council, since in their minds they were simply jump-starting the primitive Earthlings to a higher state of evolution. Neanderthal to primitive worker, no harm, no foul. There's more, but I just thought this was no coincidence about Kingu colliding with Earth. And then this came up today, and then some lovely person had to comment about a channel that the dude is just, an abuser, but whatever. It's a whole other topic I'm not going to get into. And this is, I feel what this is right here. Probably more, but that is definitely a gash. And they talk about wormwood having the gash. And when doing the research, because I do research, the gash was to extract the RNA so that we can, and they did all that. They distorted us. I'm always like, I don't know, I'm guided to always learn more about this, but I find this no coincidence. I just happened to open this book up. I'm like, I'm just chilling for a minute, and I'm opening the book, and there it is, Tiamat, Earth, and Kingu collide. And then I posted this picture that was taken in 1968, year I was born, no coincidences, to show the gash here. More will be revealed, and this is United States, South America, Africa, Italy, and all that over there, Europe. Anyway, just wanted to share that. Take it or leave it. This is the book I'm reading. I have a lot of books I read on this stuff, but there was no coincidence that popped up. Peace out.